Peace, everybody. Welcome to the Cubs baseball channel, and it is great to talk Cubs with you again today as we start to build momentum into this offseason. Now, the postseason has been really exciting, and of course, the Cubs not part of that postseason, and the front office, which I still think could be, up in the air a little bit, and we'll find out. Maybe not, but certainly some changes you figure are going to be on the way. And that could just be stuff like maybe Cody Bellinger opts out of his contract. Is he going to turn the $30 million down to get a better deal somewhere else? Watching the postseason, though, has really made me think about this Cubs roster and kind of where things are right now. When I look at the teams that are in the postseason, the one thing that I can tell you is they have star players. Cubs won the World Series 2016. They made the playoffs 15 and then 17 and 18 and 19. They had star players. I look at the roster that the Cubs have right now, and I feel like they have some good players, but I don't think that they have the star players. And I'm talking about the Juan Sotos and the Giancarlo Stantons and the Aaron Judges, right? The Yankees have those guys. The Polar Bear, right? Lindor. That the Mets have. Those are big bats. Those are guys who are coming up clutch, and they're coming up clutch in the big games. Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. Think about the guys that are making it happen. Mookie Betts, right? Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani. Just think about the whole Dodgers teams like stars, right? For the Cubs, look at their lineup, and I don't really see that one guy that I'm going, okay, I'm worried about this guy. Now, we hoped it would be Bellinger. That's who we hoped would be in the lineup, and then maybe he would kind of lift the rest of the team up, and that's how the Cubs would win, right? But what we found out is that he digressed a little bit, and everybody's talked about it. He hasn't performed nearly as well in Wrigley as he has on the road, so maybe that's a reason to opt out. Maybe it's, just his style of hitting, other places he hits fly balls to the wall. They're caught other places. Maybe they're home runs. I don't know. I think that there is a type of player, Ryan Sandberg being one of those, the hard line drive guys that can get it out of the park because they hit the ball low and it goes right. But it seemed like the other teams didn't have any problems hitting it out of the park this year. Think about that. So at Wrigley anyway. So what I'm saying basically is, as I look at the Cubs, I think that there is an obvious need for a closer. And when you only convert 38 to 64 save tries, you stink. You're one of the worst teams in the league. And if you don't think that converting, you build on that number, you get into the 50s there, and now you're in the playoffs. You're fighting for the division. You win the division, depending on where it is. Cubs have to improve in that back end bullpen area. The other thing, though, is that they've got to do a better job of managing players so they don't get hurt pitching. And what I mean by that is, hey, maybe let the start. And I saw them do this a little bit this year. Let the starters pitch 6-7 innings. And then guess what? You don't need as many guys to finish the game and pull those back innings in, right? So we've talked about closer. We've talked about the bullpen. I feel like there's going to be some flexibility there. We'll see if maybe they make a move or two to try to go out and add pitchers that can help lock down those games. Now, you're seeing teams like the Tigers, like the Dodgers, teams that are just saying, hey, we're just going to pitch bullpen games in the playoffs, and it works, which is incredible to me, right? But that's where the game is right now. And I think Major League Baseball, if they want to save the integrity of the sport, which people love, they're going to have to try to make starting pitching more of a part of the game like it used to be. And the way they're going to do that is they maybe make up some rules where, you're not going to be able to just pitch 8 guys in a 9-inning game, like basically where that came from was winter ball. I remember talking to Buddy Bailey, who is a winter ball legend in Venezuela, and that's how they would do it. Hey, look, you're going to pitch 2 and you're going to pitch 1. I'm going to string together 9 innings, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. Now, their roster management's a little different. You can go out and pick up guys from other teams when they're eliminated and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, what made Major League Baseball, to me, one of the biggest things was the starting pitching matchup and how you would look at that. I mean, who wouldn't have wanted to see, Shohei Ohtani go against Yamamoto? Think about that. The Far East showdown with two of the best Japanese pitchers, or Yu Darvish, just kind of stand in that area, when we were talking about, the guys that you want to go see. But I mean, whatever. I mean, you want that starting pick. Corbin Burns when he was with the Brewers, right? And then he matched up against Justin Steele. I thought that was one of the best pitching matchups in 2023. Where are we going with this game is for another day. But what I do want to say, as far as this Cubs roster management, I think they need star players. I think they have enough. They have enough guys, just guys like, hey, you know what? Here's a guy, and they need some star players. And to get star players, you're going to have to fork out some dollars. Now, the problem is that Dansby Swanson is supposed to be one of those star players, and they paid him as a star player. But what we're finding is that he's okay. He's good. He's not great. His bat isn't going to win games for you. His defense is good. He's a Gold Glove shortstop. But you could get a Gold Glove shortstop that's okay at the plate and not spend $177 million. Why not, instead of saying, hey, I'm going to try to go here with this and get, a marginal star, why not spend the money and get a true star? You look, even the Phillies, I mean, eliminated, right? But who were the guys that were making it happen? Bryce Harper, making it happen. Big time talent, right? You're paying him to be a star. People are showing up to watch him, and he is delivering. Nick Castellanos. I mean, we had him before. We knew it was going to be good. We could have gotten him for a song at the time. Didn't want to do it. Mistake. He's another player that you get into the postseason and look at what he did for the Phillies. I consider him a star player, but the Phillies roster has star players on it. Kyle Schwarber. We used to have him, star player over there. Cubs are going to have to get some star players to mix with the guys that are kind of right on the fringe. Because I don't think you can get to this point and win without the difference makers that it takes to win. Watch that Dodgers and Padres matchup, and you see it, man. I mean, these are star players. Both rosters. And the Cubs were in that mix in 2016. They developed most of their star players. But I feel like as this offseason comes, the Cubs are exactly what their roster is. Slightly better than average. But with that said, they're not that far off. So what are they going to do in the offseason? That is the question that we're going to follow here. I think that they're going to have to spend some money on stars. I mean, I think they're going to have to. I think this is the offseason where you look and you go, if there's going to be a future that includes the Cubs in the playoffs and back in the World Series, it's going to take star players. That means stars at the top of the rotation, to add to the guys that you already have, to, is Imanaga going to be able to duplicate what he did last year? It's going to be tough to do that. I hope he does, right? Justin Steele, can he stay healthy? Well, if he does, you got two really good ones at the top of the rotation. Then you look at the rest of it, and you know what? Add a star, a Corbin Burns. Put a Corbin Burns at the top of your rotation, and all of a sudden, your rotation looks so much better because you got so much more talent to follow them. Instead of putting another guy in the back somewhere, and it's like, hey, you know what? We're good, but we're not great. If the Cubs want to win the World Series, they got to go from good to great. And I think that is what's going to be fun to watch, or what we're going to be really complaining about. One of the shows that's coming up, I'm going to grade the performances of the players and the front office and the manager coming up. Give you my assessment on all of that stuff. But thanks for hanging out here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Get in the comments section. Tell me what you think. And we will talk to you guys again really soon. But I appreciate you being here, and go Cubs. Can't wait to talk Cubs baseball with you again tomorrow.